waiting until I see that I've gone live here. Oh, I think here it comes. Excellent. Yes, here we are. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. I'm happy to be back. Probably a little bit of a shorter stream tonight. But I still definitely want to play. So let us take stock of what we have here. We have Sally Testdaughter, the Initiated. What does that mean? The Invocations is our highest skill? Oh, that's right, this wreck of a character. Oh, awesome. Well, maybe not online. That's weird. Sorry, I'm fiddling with my channel here because I'm not entirely sure that we're actually streaming. So let me find out real quick. Yes, okay. Alright. We are live. My apologies. And again, I'm not entirely sure that anyone is viewing it. Maybe. I don't know. I'm still figuring out this dual computer setup here. It's a little tricky and a little bit inconvenient, but it will get better. One of these days I intend to purchase a better monitor setup, but that's a few months of saving away, I think. Okay. So what do we have going on? We're worshipping Ashnzari. Gosh. Worshipping Ashnzari because we abandoned Dithmenos because we found this obscene crystal plate armor. We'll just check it out here. Hey Genja, how's it going? Well, I hope. Oh gosh, yeah. Okay, so resist poison, regeneration, resist corrosion, and strength +7, and it's +10 crystal plate armor. So, in theory, we could find more heavily enchanted crystal plate armor. It can go up to 14. You can enchant any piece of armor up to its base armor rating in bonus. It doesn't. Good, glad to hear it. You may already know all of this that I'm saying, actually, but I should record it for posterity. So you can sort of double your base armor class rating if you fully enchant something. That's not quite the same because certain things like guaranteed damage reduction and gargoyle armor bonus are calculated off of the base armor rating alone, and not the enchantment rating. So it's not exactly the same as doubling your armor class because you actually get more from your base armor rating than it says. Oh, and it compounds with the armor skill and your strength, etc. An enchantment is actually the least multiplicative modifier that can be applied to a weapon, or applied to armor or weapons for that matter. So that's a little bit of the under the hood, as it were. So yes, so we have this absurd crystal plate armor that we can't really wear right now with an armor of 5. We want to get our skill. The penalty will go away. I forget how it works. I think when your armor skill is, it's either when your armor skill is at its encumbrance rating or when it's at its base armor rating. and your strength has to be equal to or greater than the other one. And that's, if you have both of those, then you don't have any penalties to your melee attacks. Lower penalty to your spell casting once you get those as well, although we might be able to cast level 1, level 2 spells when we're wearing it, even with all of the penalties reduced as far as possible. And so that's why we're worshipping Ashen Zari, is because we're retraining everything into our new tanky build, while suffering Mythmenos' wrath. 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 Okay, let's see what this does. Okay, cool. Hold on. I promise I won't be messing with this too much more. Okay, alright. I think now I have it set up the way I want. Okay, good. Back to the game. So we have some minimal skill in throwing, which, I mean, you can do a lot of damage with javelins, don't get me wrong. It's a ton of damage. But making throwing your primary source of damage is just really risky. The rate at which you find ammo does not match that of other weapons. Partially because you have several different types of thrown items. You have javelins and tomahawks, and I guess that's pretty much it at this point. They removed darts. Blowguns count as a throwing weapon. And stones, although those don't really do anything beyond the first couple levels of the dungeon. Right, but so your ammo is effectively split in half, we'll say, or cut by 2/3 or a third, 2/3, yeah, because you don't necessarily want tomahawks or blowguns. Like a blowgun is almost useless in, say, Hells or Pandemonium. So it has a very hard late game fall off because blowguns are useless. Tomahawks don't do the damage that you need them to do. They're just not strong enough. So you have to use javelins. So hopefully you've stocked up a lot of javelins and you don't lose too many to item destruction. Things aren't flying over deep water or lava. There are a lot of ways that your ammo can be reduced there as well. And on top of all that, it takes a lot more inventory space because you have to have, javelins of piercing, javelins of silver, and blah, 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 instead of, I don't know, just arrows. I mean, you can get enchanted arrows too, but you could also just get an enchanted bow, which many of them are, and just fire normal arrows out of it, and yeah. So that's why I don't generally like to invest a lot in throwing, even though you can do quite a hefty amount of damage with javelin. And I mean, if you find a nice stack of javelins of returning, for example, then that can get you somewhere. But all in all, if you're going to go for a ranged proficiency or a ranged ability, I recommend bows or crossbows. Slings got significantly better this patch. I don't know how much better. I haven't played a character that has survived for very long using slings. Maybe I'll do that next. That could be fun. Yes, they added a sort of a couple different hunting slings are the base sling now, and I think there's just one more, the great sling, that is a lot more damage while still being a one-handed weapon, I think. So it seems like it could be really cool, and it does cross-train, which is nice. And they recently changed that as well, in that rather than your cross-trained skill being a percentage of your base skill, the skill that yeah, slings is a separate skill. If the two are combined, if we're like throwing slings, that would be awesome. But They just cross-train. But now the cross-training is better because it directly puts a portion of the experience into the skill. So if I don't know, it's better, trust me. At the risk of getting too pedantic. So anyway, so we're going to drop off this crystal plate armor. We won't want to wear it for a while. I do think I still want to split up my experience here because I need a little more survivability than armor is providing me immediately. Oh, and I will, at some point, I will have to go briefly. I ordered a pizza, and so I'm going to have to grab that and bring it back up here, and I'll probably just eat at the computer because I want to give you as long of a stream as I can, and that won't be too long if I stop in a half an hour. So I want to try and stream for at least an hour here. Okay. Still fitting. Okie dokie, so what else do we have going on here? We currently have fairly high invocations, although that's useless to us at the moment. Ashnzari doesn't really have any evocable skills right off the bat. There's some interesting ones later, but I don't know if it's actually dependent on invocations. It might be piety-based alone. We have a lot of stealth, which is good for now, and that will actually help us a reasonable amount in the moment. We are extraordinarily stealthy. But that is one of the things we are going to be cross-training, or redistributing with Ashnzari's ultimate ability. A couple of wands, a couple of unidentified potions. What do I have? Oh yes, I grouped the curse scrolls separately. I think... Gosh, I don't know that I want to wait. We're only partially bound in armor right now. We would have to find the cloak to be fully bound. But it's not a cloak of any kind of excitement. It's just a +0 cloak, and I don't really want to use up some of our resources on binding that when it's not increasing our piety by any additional amount. It's just giving us a bonus to armor, which I'm not too concerned about. So, alright, so what were we doing? I think we were going to the Orcish Mines. Yeah, that's... Oh, that's right. I found this thing in a Bailey in one of the little temporary branches that popped up. That's just ridiculous. It's one of, if not the best artifact I've ever found. One of the best, at the very least. Okie dokie. So what's our method of attack here? Are we really just... hitting things with a dagger and javelins? This seems bad. Well, we've got the Force Lance that's okay. +2 dagger of freezing. That's actually fairly useful. Because reptilian things, so the snakes in the snake pit, are vulnerable to cold. I believe they take additional damage and risk being slowed. Maybe they remove the slow and it's just extra damage. Good, got some stabs there. I guess that's what I was doing. I was just trying to stab everything. Which is not too exciting. Oh, and we get a Sentinel's Mark. Okay, well, let's head back to the up staircases here. Just kind of... do we want to head up this one? I think that's okay. Wait, no. That's not really what we want. Not when we have the mark. We actually do want to be able to stab things. So I guess we continue exploring this level. I don't know for sure that it automatically wakes up everything that we walk towards, but I would assume so. Oh gosh. Yes, okay. Let's go for Wand of Lightning. Gosh, there are a lot of priests here. I think that's more priests than I want to deal with. Just too much smiting for my taste. Smiting! I do think we can... Oh gosh, the Wand of Lightning is out. Alright, that's fine. Then... yeah, I think we're doing okay here. The damage can conceivably stack up pretty rapidly here. Especially when we're completely surrounded, but... oh wait, we have a Javelin of Penetration. That's why I'm not too concerned. I knew that there was a reason why. Yeah, there we go. Boom, boom, boom. So there are some interesting things you can do with aiming. And just tab attack for a minute. You can aim at different spots. If you aim and press the period key, it'll shoot at that spot rather than beyond. That was one that I used there to make sure I didn't throw my ammo too far away from me if I needed to recollect it in a pinch. Oh, Ashen Zari also was going to give us the lowdown on all the cursed and enchanted stuff. It automatically identifies those things for us, which is nice. Altar to bow. That's actually a really fun character to play, is the Orc Messiah. It's pretty cool. I had a pretty rough loss. I think it was in the Orcish Mines even. Traitors! Okay, so... I guess we want to go there. I think we're just high enough level that we don't have to worry too much about it. The nice thing about the Orcish Mines is that it gives you a lot of gold. You may or may not find anything useful in there, but there are always a couple of shops. Usually there are 4 on the bottom. This is version 16.2. Mr. Liquor. I try to keep the stream, at least for the recordings. I try to keep it kind of G-rated because I don't know when people are watching with their kids. So I will call you by a pseudonym if that's all right. Yeah, this is 16.2. It's the most up-to-date downloadable version. I didn't really feel like playing online at the moment just because I'm getting used to a new setup. Oh no, you're fine. I'm not offended at all. I just have one of my friends is a teacher. Neil. Okay, cool. I'll call you Neil. One of my friends is a teacher, and he teaches a role-playing game class, and he sometimes shows these streams to his class. And he teaches, 10 through 13-year-olds. So I try to keep it usable as source material for that. Hi, by the way, if you're watching the recording. It's Stanley Doodrich, actually. He comes to the channel from time to time. Very, very cool guy. Alright, so we have an antique shop here, which basically just means it's a bunch of unidentified stuff. The longswords don't particularly interest me. The papyrus book, I'm torn here because I may have use for a few spells while I'm in the process of getting Ashen Zari's piety count up to where I can start transferring skills, getting my armor up to a point where I can wear the crystal plate. So spending 255 gold on a guaranteed temporary fix, I don't know about that. I do know that I definitely want to buy a Scroll of Blinking. No reason not to do that. I want to buy this unidentified scroll because it could be a scroll of acquirement. I know that's one of the ones I haven't identified yet. Yeah, I think that's all for now. I'll remember that there's a scroll of teleportation there. Those aren't. You don't have to have as many of those in your inventory because you generally need a maximum of 3 for any given emergency, and usually you don't need 3. Usually 1 is enough. Could do Scroll of Recharging. I don't care that much about the wands that I have, but I'll remember it's there in case we come across a wand of healing, which would be very nice. That's a fantastic resource. I already found the Torment Scroll and Holy Word. Let's look at what we don't have identified yet. Yeah, Acquirement, Brand Weapon, Fear, Silence, Vulnerability. So actually, I should probably purchase one of those long swords because I'm strongly considering switching from short blades to long blades. Just more raw damage with our new and tanky build, since we're not going to be doing the stabbing thing. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and buy a long sword. Oh, wait. Can I just find one? Yeah. In fact, there's a +1 longsword somewhere. So we'll go grab that real quick, and that way, if it is a Scroll of Brand Weapon, then we can enchant that, and yeah! Ooh. Cool. Brand Weapon, if it's an unenchanted weapon, always turns it into a Vorpal weapon, which is just plus 30% physical damage. It's very good. I like it maybe more than some others do. I know that there are many advocates for the Flame and Frost enchantments because they have a higher high end. It's plus 50% damage. Oh, gotta grab the pizza. Be right back. Okay, fantastic. All right. Yes, Electric Brand is great for faster weapons. Quick Blades of Electricity are the bee's knees because it's a static amount. It's like 8 to 16 damage or something like that. Used to be a little bit higher. Used to be crazy good. Now it's just very solid. Like, it's on par with the other brands instead of being head and shoulders above the rest in certain circumstances. Yes, 9 plus 1d, 15. Cool. Yeah. So yes, for quick blades specifically, it's awesome, but really for any short blade. Rapiers are really good for that. Anything with a fast attack speed. So the reason why I like Vorpal more than some is because physical damage is only reduced by armor. You will never encounter an enemy that is immune to physical damage, I think. I actually have to think about that now that I've said it. Yeah, you'll never encounter an enemy that is immune to physical damage. You'll find things that have huge amounts of damage reduction, but it's always plus 30% damage. So that's the argument, is that high armor dudes are The flaming. Yeah. That's what I think too. Thanks for confirming my madness. Yeah, no physical immunities, because otherwise, there would be certain characters that would just die, and that's not fun. You shouldn't have a random chance to not be able to beat the game. You should only die through your own mistakes, and that's I have made many mistakes. Okay, so let's keep exploring here. I don't think we've explored all of the, yeah, little pods. Alrighty. So, anyway, all that is to say, yeah, Drug Minotaur. Like, you would have to find a weapon with an elemental brand, or with no, pain wouldn't work because that's a percentage HP. You can't actually kill something with pain. Oh, I should eat. Should also eat in real life, but I don't feel like doing that quite yet. It's a little bit rude, and I also I'm also enjoying chattering right now. Walking through water is pretty. Food shop. Eh. There are some races. Well, actually, I think they got rid of fast metabolism entirely. Now that I think about it, it might just be a random mutation now. Random negative mutation. Just chucking some javelins through here. Well, this is already the second god that we have worshipped. We started off with this Menos because we got the Night Stalker mutation as one of our demon spawn mutations. And so I thought, well, we'll go all stabby. But then we got a ways, and we just weren't finding a lot of good stabby supplementals. Plus, we're monstrous demon spawn, so we don't have a Scales mutation, which means we're a little more vulnerable to damage than we otherwise be on my ideal. Yes. So we were kind of disappointed with our setup, and then we found this sucker that you can see, B there. If you can't quite read it, then oh, look, that might be spam. Oh, nice. Anyway, so this crystal plate armor, plus 10 crystal plate armor with resist poison, regeneration, resist corrosion, and strength plus 7. Absurd, absolutely amazing armor. As soon as we're able to put it on, it will carry us through the entire rest of the game. So it is possible with this character to do more than a 3-rune run, for sure. Can do definitely at least 4. Yeah, I can't think of any better artifact. We would have to troll through Pandemonium for decades before we found anything that good. So that's why we switched to Ashnzari, so that we can retrain our skill set to be a tanky sort of melee kind of build. Yeah, we need a ton of levels in armor. So like I said, that's why we're doing Ashnzari, because we can train our stealth 11 levels worth of, or well, minus 10%, so 10 levels into whatever we want, probably long blades. But yeah, we have like 8 levels in translocations, which I may leave there if we can find Blink in a spellbook, because I think with a little bit of tweaking, we should be able to cast Blink, and that's awesome. If you're a big beefy melee fighter that can cast Blink, you are much more likely to survive the late game when things just swarm you and you can't walk out of there. Okay, so shields will get 1.1 more levels in it. and then turn that off because we can use a buckler. Yeah, Blink shouldn't be hard to find. It's just a matter of when. Okay, so onward. We have consumed a potion of cure mutation to get rid of the frail mutation that I caused just through a stupid whim on my part. I decided for giggles to put on an amulet of stasis while a teleport was channeling, not for any reason whatsoever, just to do it. And of course I got mutated as a result. I don't know what I was thinking. And we became frail. But then I found a potion of beneficial mutation. So I drank a potion of cure mutation and then drank a beneficial mutation, and we became more resistant to further mutation. So conceivably, we will not be mutated beyond our demon spawn mutations, which we have a decent number. We have, gosh, I'm really considering, let's just, oh, I suppose we have to wait until we're out of battle so we can uncurse our thing and recurse it. I'll probably have to go back to the player. Ooh, a dagger of electrocution. I don't know that I have one of those yet. I'll go ahead and pick it up. Might as well. Yeah, let's go back to the player. I know it's a lot of running back and forth, but the mines are just... There's so much food in the mines. You just eat everything. Okay, so... let's remove the curse on this dagger. I think I'm just going to go ahead and switch to the longsword. The only downside... well, we lose this magic resistance. How relevant is that? Not incredibly. I think the ability to actually do damage is going to be more important right now then. So we should be training long swords, long blades. Yeah. Yeah, let's just do it properly. Are we good with these rings? Oh yeah, we've got sweet, pretty sweet jewelry. Yeah, I was just thinking for, I was thinking for Orc 4, it would be useful against the Orcish Sorcerers. So I'm pretty sure they have some kind of confusion effect. Maybe not. Maybe I don't even need it there. Wield this longsword of slicing. Slicing! And yeah. Elven Halls is, yeah, you need MR there. You're absolutely right. Okay. So how do our spells look now? Bad? So we don't really want to mess with Force Lance anymore. That's okay. It wasn't super useful anyway, and Spell Hunger I'm sure is crazy right now. Yeah. Gosh. Oh yeah. I save Elven for usually after Vaults 1 through 3, or something crazy like that. I wait a very long time before I do Elf, because the stuff that you find in there is still generally going to be useful, even, I mean, through the endgame. You generally find some pretty sweet stuff in Elf. And there's just no reason to risk it. It's so dangerous. Even after doing most of the vaults, I feel like it's it's a, and that's the thing. It's high variance. Yay! 2 pips of piety with Ashen-Zari. That's really good. That makes everything a lot better. Okay, so let's turn off fighting and let's turn on long blades. I think I had fighting because I wasn't sure what kind of weapon I wanted to use. I think I do want to use long blades because we have a decent number of points into dexterity. Actually, I don't know that we've placed any points into dexterity, but I think our dexterity is naturally higher than our strength. And so if it's, if it's a balanced mixture, then long blades are a good way to go. Or rather, if you have slightly more dexterity or even a lot more dexterity, long blades are better than any other large weapon. Stabbing is, of course, also not as important. Now that we have a long blade, long blades still do more damage than non-blade type category. I mean, we're worshipping Ashinzari, so we're going to be able to move stuff around anyway, and having almost 7 levels in it already makes me want to... yeah, and maces are great, but we can always just retrain things anyway. I mean, we're going to want to retrain short blades regardless. And it might take a while, but I would rather have guaranteed damage through the sort of early mid-game here than I would bank on, limping by with low damage output until I find something cool. Because something cool could... it's just a piety thing, so I'll be able to do one, and then I'll have to wait a little while, and then do another, and then wait a little while. It'll all come out in the wash eventually. It's kind of a long, grindy sort of build, but yeah, fighting is nice for the HP, but the damage that it gives is really negligible. It's kind of a perk of the hit points. Like, hit points are the main reason to go into fighting. And what we really need right now is damage, because we're not really a spellcaster. We don't have a good source of that. We're going to be switching into really heavy armor, which by itself will give us very good damage resistance. So I'm less worried about getting a very high armor skill than I am getting something that we can kill things with. Because I'm going to run out of these javelins eventually, and yeah. Also, long swords are pretty good for a while. I mean, it's fairly... I mean, unless I'm remembering it completely wrong. Yeah, base damage 10 is fine. It's not going to get us through the vaults, for sure, but through the first few levels of each of the branches, it will be okay. And if I find another scroll of brand weapon... there's Elf. Speak of the devil. If we find another scroll of brand weapon, then we'll use it right away, because almost anything would be better than this. Except pain, but that's, not one of the more common ones, and brand weapon's a gamble anyway. Ideally, you should always wait to brand your weapon, or to rebrand a weapon until you have 2 scrolls, so that if you get one that's just completely incompatible, then you can... oh gosh, we're on Orc 4. We need to not be on Orc 4. I don't want to do Orc 4 yet. Whoa! Okay, let's also be cautious and not throw this game. Okay, alright. Okay, I feel better now. I'm going to eat for a minute, if you'll pardon me. Clearly I'm getting scatterbrained. And I'm talking myself into dangerous situations here, so... distortion is really cool, though. If I get distortion... I mean, given that this is basically a test character to make sure my head's back in the game, if I get distortion, I'm just going to run with it, and, consequences come what may. Yeah, alright, so I'm going to eat some food, so probably won't talk as much for the next couple of minutes, but we'll keep moving. I think Swamp. Swamp is next. Yeah, we're definitely... We're already doing more damage. Yeah, every once in a while it'll get you. Oh, that's right. There are bees on this level. Hmm. Yeah, I guess I'm doing more damage than I was before. Ooh, we can actually turn off shields since Ashen Zarya is boosting it over the amount we needed. No, I don't have resist poison yet. I have it on some junky leather armor that I've got lying around, and that's it. So it's either swamps or snake pits. And swamps has less poison than snake pits. Hmm. Fifth Menos. Cool. Alright. Let's just rest up and we can eat some fruit. I don't care much about that now that we're not going to be spellcasting anymore. Okay. Leonin Hydra, I have a really spotted history with that beast. It definitely straight up murdered me once. I underestimated it, and yeah, that was a mistake. But another time, I encountered it, and I didn't like my positioning. Like I was just had a bad position. So I teleported away, and then I never found it again. I spent an hour wandering around that level, and I know that there are probably tricks that I could have done, but I was so frustrated just hunting it down. I think we were running in circles around each other. Um, yeah, it was pretty dumb. So I think I might have only killed it actually once, maybe. Uh, but I found it more than that. Okay. Right. Going to the swamp. Hmm. We can turn off a lot of these rings. Okay. Now we won't pick up rings that we don't want to have. There we go. Genja, you would know if you had seen it. It's the size of a Pandemonium Lord. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Bog body. I think they can also cause rotting. A lot of rotting. I miss my gargoyles. Um, nice thing for now about having a lot of stealth that we can't really use otherwise is that we can still kind of be a little sneaky if we need to be. Oh, Bog Body does cold damage. We are very resistant to cold. Yeah, it's the 27-headed Leonin Hydra. It's just very silly. Oh, no, we don't want to walk into the Cloud of Foul Pestilence. What do we want to do here? I guess keep attacking? That seems not awesome. Berserk Potion seems bad. Just hoping to kill that. Okay. Gosh. I don't like this situation that we're in here. They're even between us and the exit. This is not awesome. Let's drink a potion of curing. Oh yeah, let's take a step back. There we go. Ow, gosh, ravens. These guys are rough. Quaff potion of agility, that might help. I think we'll probably have to use cure wounds as well. They're doing upwards of 20 damage a hit. Okay. And then heal wounds. Alright. I think probably, gosh. Can we do Wand of Confusion? Yeah, there we go. There's just too much confusion. And then horned toads or spiny frogs. This is it's real rough. This is not an ideal situation. I think at this point, yeah, if only. I guess a blink scroll? No, everything's so fast. I think teleportation is what it has to be. And we can kind of reevaluate from there, but let's do another potion of curing. Okay, all right. Oh, Dithmenos! Give me a Sentinel's Mark. This is gonna be tough. This did not play out the way I expected it to. I misunderestimated it. Okay, first things first. See if we can confuse that. See if we can confuse a few of these things. No? Wow. Alright, let's just go ahead and use some resources here. Ooh, yikes. Okay, alright. Oh, they're mindless. Well, it said it resisted with significant effort. I don't think they're mindless. Yeah. It does drain health, though. That sucks. Yeah. Okay, so we've got to do at least one more Blink Scroll. Very, very expensive mistake here. Okay, and now I think if we quaff a Potion of Haste, we should be able to outrun, or at least be able to move faster than their people, so they can't move and then attack and move and then attack. Okay, alright, we survived. Until the bees come! Oh gosh. Oh, bees. Ridiculous. Alright. Let's quaff another potion here. Berserk Rage seems... No, Berserk Rage seems real bad. Let's just do another agility here. And haste? I kind of think that's necessary. We've still got this... Gosh, we're just burning through everything. I mean, it's better than dying, but it feels real bad. I think I'd rather have the bees dead because of the... no, the yaks are large, so there's no real... I was thinking the yak will be hindered by the shallow water, but it's large, so it will not be. Okay. Ugh. Alright. Okay. Whew. Okay. All right. That was fun. Ooh. Yeah, we're maybe going to be mutated more. No, we're not mutated more. We do have nasty monsters spawned on top of us. Can we even survive these? Oh, we have an Amulet of Warding. We'll be okay. Maybe. No. No. Well, that's why we have one more scroll of blinking. And a scroll of teleportation. And we're next to deep water, or I would drink the potion of ambrosia. Potion of curing? Nope. Barb spikes. Alright, well. That's a shame. Well, okay, so mistakes were made, certainly. I went far deeper into the swamp than I should have. I should have approached that much more cautiously. Probably should have gone up a few... Well, I don't know about going up levels before resting there. I don't know that there was much we could have done at the end there. Well, that's fine. Sally Test's daughter survived much longer than I expected her to, and certainly we were not taking the easy path when it came to picking out our build. Switching builds right after the layer is rough. So that's fine. Not a bad start. A good legacy for the rapidly slain Sir Tester. I think I just ran him around until he died. Maybe I actually tried. He was like a Formicid Arcane Marksman or something. It was really bad. Anyway. The volley of spikes summoned by the darkness of Dithmenos. That's a pretty cool epitaph, though. Yeah. If it had worked out, that crystal plate would have been totally sweet. I don't regret my decisions that game. Okay, so I have a few of you here, and so I would like to ask what you guys would like to see. What race class? I'm open to suggestions. Oh hey, is that Superfleod? Welcome back. Oh, and Devious Jester, welcome back. Mike, do I remember you, Mike? You've been here before. I feel like I do. I don't know. I was gone for so long. Ooh. Yeah, Naga Chabriados, that could be fun. It's been a long time since I've done a Che run. And those are always really solid. Well, I'm thinking I'm gonna eat some more pizza. We'll name this one Jorenstein. Deep Dwarf Evoker is good. Let's see what races we got. Okay, so I guess I'd rather not do another stab build right away. That was a little frustrating. What about slings? Who's good with slings? Oh, Deep Dwarves. I don't know, Deep Dwarf Evoker is looking kind of interesting. Yeah, Halflings. Halflings are just so bad with all the other weapons, though. No, humans are legit. They level at +1 and have no strong disadvantages. That's very solid. I mean, they're just not exciting. They're not sexy. Are Deep Dwarves good with armor? Yeah, they're pretty good with it. I'm kind of considering doing a heavy armor Deep Dwarf Evoker build with either Nemelex or Mockled. Nemelex being the much riskier of the two, because I'd have to rely on the random nature of Dex to be able to get permanent healing, but I do like Mokleb. Oh, Gargoyle Kozlov. That'd be fun. Yeah, Mokleb is pretty high variance. Or relatively high variance. I mean, the fact that sometimes the abilities not only don't work, they actively try to kill you. Thanks, Genja. Sorry I'm, eating, but I appreciate you stopping by. Have a good sleep. Could do a Hill Orc. We could do the Orc Messiah thing. Yeah, converting Saint Roga is pretty satisfying. I've only managed to do it once. Had to slay the infidel a few times. There can only be one Orc Messiah. Okay, alright. Now that I've eaten a few pieces of pizza, I feel more in control of my faculties. I can keep going for another, probably 40 minutes or so. And get a decent amount of the way into a new run. Okay, so I guess what do I want to play right now? I kind of want to play a big bruiser. I kind of want to play what we were trying to become last game before we got aced. So in my mind, that says Gargoyle, and then sort of come what may from there. Yeah, let's go Gargoyle. Go Gargoyle or go home. I'm a little bit biased because I think it was my first win was with a Gargoyle. No, Gargoyle was my first 15 rune win. I think my first win was on a Naga. My first couple were with Chabritos. Chabritos is just, at least back then, I think that was on 0.14, patch 14. I think that was, yeah. Yeah, because I played a lot back in 2010, but I never managed to make it out. Okay. So, yeah, 15 runes, man, it's tough. I mean, it's not as much more difficult as it is to get to your first 3 rune win. Like, 15 runes is not as much more difficult as from 3 runes than 3 runes is from, you know, no win. But it's still a big step up in difficulty. There are a lot of characters that just can't do it. I mean, you just don't have the right kind of setup. That's rare because you can always, you know, switch to the Shining One or something. Like if you're a demon spawn and you don't have certain, like, yeah, there can be some really rough setups. So what I'm hovering right here is Monk. I really like Monk. It opens up a lot of opportunities as far as your god choice. So if we do come across an early Altar of Chabridos, boom, we have an extra 7 points in every stat within 5 levels of the dungeon, and that's insane. It's a little tricky to survive until that point. There's also the eternal dilemma of whether to go unarmed combat or not. Because while unarmed combat is super awesome with Chabridos, and the dream, of course, is unarmed combat with blade hands. That's just so much damage. Sick amounts of damage. I want to say it's like having an Executioner's Axe with an attack delay of 0.5 rather than 1. Like, it's about the same amount of damage as the most damaging weapons when you have blade hands on. But that being said, it's not necessarily the best way to go because you can find some pretty sweet weapons, and unarmed combat peaks very late. You don't reach maximum efficiency with unarmed combat as far as attack delay goes until level 26, which you know, you might as well be using an Executioner's Axe at that point, especially if you don't have blade hands. So I always turn off everything but fighting and sometimes one of the defensive skills, but I think I just want to focus fighting this time around to start off with. And we'll just kind of punch things down. I have to remember that I'm not going to be sneaking up on things as this character, so while I should still position well, like I did not there, we may come to an early end. No, okay, all right. I really don't care about just sort of running through the first couple of levels of the dungeon. I mean, if we die, we die. But it's everybody has done these 2 levels a lot, and so there's not too much that I can offer that you haven't already experienced. The one downside of the monk build, as opposed to one of the spellcasters, is that your extended endgame is marginally weaker because you start with, you know, 8 to 10 fewer points of intelligence, which is not insignificant. But the reason why I say marginally weaker is that if you're doing extended endgame, you're probably following Chabridos and you don't care what your stats started at anyway, because they're all at like 40. You have plus 15 to each of your stats at max piety with Chabridos, so you're fine. That being said, we will put all of our points into intelligence. Because I think at this point I've decided to worship Chabridos and go for a 15-rune run. I know I said I was going to let things come as may, but that's not going to be the case. We're going to go for the gold. All right, onward. Ooze. Hammers are bad, right? Kinda. I do really like maces and flails on gargoyles. Their aptitude isn't a +1 like it used to be, which is a shame because that was sweet. but it's really hard to go wrong with like Evening Star, Tower Shield, um, like Evening Star, big ol' shield, crystal plate armor, just hit things. Actually, with Che, you really want to stick to like plate at most. Gold Dragon armor can work. My absolute favorite is Ivory Dragon armor when you're following Che, because that's it's a pip of negative energy resistance, which is cool without any. Oh right, Crazy Youth. That's what was going on here. Let's see if we can. Yeah. All right. I always go for killing Crazy Youth, even if I probably shouldn't, just because I like getting that out of the way, and it's a huge boost of experience early on that makes the next few levels pretty easy. So we'll go for Yorenstein second. I like to keep multiple iterations of the same race class combination as part of the same family, just so I kind of get an idea of the probability of making it out of the early game. You know, if I notice that a certain race class, I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of user variance in there. Like sometimes it's just because I've been playing badly. Rear protection for fire, sweet. Not really going to help us for a while, but it's not a cursed ring of loudness or hunger or any of those nasty things. -5 strength. That would be a bummer. Bummer, dude. I also really like training solely fighting early on with the Gargoyle because the -20% hit points is really problematic at times. Let's. All right. Now we can. Oh, it's a cursed sling. Oh well. I was about to say now we can switch back and forth between unarmed and a sling, but we cannot do that. So a level 2 Altar of Trog is tempting, but I don't really feel like a Trog run right now. It's too solidly a 3 rune run. I mean, you can do 15 runes with Trog. It's tough, but you can do it. Were they ruined boots of bad things? Oh no. Are we going to... Oh no, we didn't experience death by Quokka. I think that might have actually been a first. In 6 years of playing Dungeon Crawl, I don't think I have ever died to a Quokka. Alright, as before, putting points into intelligence. This is going to get real ugly when we run out of stones here. Pick it up, shoot it, pick it up, shoot it. Clumsily bash the kobold, but do no damage. Wonder... Yeah, I don't think we can actually kill him. So... Oh, let's, there we go, alright. Probably should have thought of that sooner, but, yeah. Oh, just hey, +2 boots right at spawn is sweet. 3 extra armor class is a big deal. so it's a -1 sling. There's Kozlol. Kozlol is cool, but Kozlol is also, in my mind, a lot like Trog. Like, it's just not. There's nothing neat that you can do with Kozlol and Trog. Like, you can run at things and bash them all day, but it's a extremely straightforward build. There's very little actual thought that you have to put into it, and I like to challenge myself. I mean, oh, there's Rude. Rude. Yeah, just bash it down. I'm pretty sure that the coding for, like, the underlying coding for ASCII and WebTiles is identical. I do not believe that there is any actual difference between versions. I could be incorrect about that, but I think it's just that with WebTiles, everything is so much prettier. I mean, it looks so much cooler. I love the WebTile set. Also, you know, my vision isn't awesome, and so ASCII just really hurts my eyes after a while. But, like, if you love playing with the with ASCII, like, more power to you. I think that's a very cool retro way to play the game. Very Telnet mud style. I mean, I guess it's not a mud; it's not text only, but very neat way to classic way to play it. But I personally prefer the tiles, and I think the art is just so good. Let's go ahead and start training Maces and Flails. I feel like it's a reasonable weapon. Oh, right. I see. I see what you mean. I think that it's still identical there. It depends if there's like a different. Ooh, Mace of Crushing. Yes, please. All right, that's gonna make the early game a lot easier. It's not incredible, but it's solid. Bonk. Oh, you always play on the trunk. Yes, the trunk, I believe, does have more drops than the stable versions because they want people to be able to test out all the stuff. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I think that they intentionally increase the drop rate so that you can try the new items. I think also, like, the likelihood of the test gods showing up is higher. I might be making that up, but I think that because they're using it as, you know, an alpha or a beta, whatever it is. I guess the whole game is beta. Yeah, there are lots of things that are different on Trunk. They tweak with it. They tweak little things in it all the time, which is awesome. Like, I love the way that this game develops. It's very organic, very user oriented. We just gotta bash down the priest. Yeah, not really much we could do there. I mean, we could try and read through scrolls, or we could try and run away. I don't care all that much. Jorenstein the Third. Like, it's late enough in the evening that I'm not playing this to be a brain challenge. I'm playing it to play some crawl. Let's see what this is. Deal. I think we'll still just train fighting for now. Yeah, the smite just always hurts. Plus, you know, minus 20% hit points is no joke. Especially when it comes to, you know, unblockable static damage, static range damage. Okay, so let's turn on Needles, see if we find a blowgun. Needles of Sleeping is a good reason to do that. Needles of Poison, meh. But sleeping needles are pretty cool. They can get you out of some sticky situations early on, even without any throwing skill. yeah. Smite is to gargoyles what poison is to cornices. Yeah, I can go with that. In case you were wondering, the reason why in a Chabrianos run I still default to putting points into intelligence every time, even though all of your stats get boosted a crazy amount, and I'm probably going to be primarily meleeing until the extended endgame. Wow, that was a really big lead-up sentence. Is that intelligence has a much higher high end than strength and dexterity. You continue to benefit from additional points of intelligence long after you have experienced diminishing returns to the point of uselessness on strength and dexterity. I'm exaggerating slightly, but basically, spell power goes so freaking high on some spells that it's possible that you'll never reach the cap. I mean, if you don't have a source of Archmage, I don't know that you necessarily can without. Gosh, gnolls, these I'll try to run away from, because I don't like dying to gnolls on Dungeon 2. An Orcish Priest, sure. That's just the way the die was cast, but... Alright. You can fight them one at a time just fine. It was just, a halberd that I wasn't really respecting. Gotta respect the gnoll. Got a point of... The last character is cool because we got an extra point of intelligence. This one got a point of strength, which, I actually really don't mind having a few of our random points go into strength, even though, I would ultimately prefer intelligence, just because it'll make the heavier armors a little bit easier for us to wear. And actually, I am going to go ahead and start training armor a little bit at 1/3 of our... I'm not going to train short blades because this is not going to be a short blades character. We're not going to be stabbing things. This electric sword, though, is just too good to pass up early on. I mean, in theory, I could put a few points into it. It would only take, I guess, I guess it'd be 12 levels to reach minimum delay. So that's not. That's a reasonably significant amount. Yeah, I'm not going to train short swords. Axes I'm okay with, because gargoyles are a decent candidate for Executioner's Axe massacring. I tend to prefer the sword and board style, the one-handed weapon plus shield, just because even with a huge amount of armor, sometimes there are things that don't hit armor. Sometimes there are projectiles that you can block, like Lehudib's Crystal Spear, I think bypasses armor. Or if it doesn't, it just does so much massive damage that it might as well bypass armor. And in those cases, it's nice to have that secondary source of damage reduction. I think it's possible that shields plus evasion is even better if you can get them both very high. It's tricky because, they kind of work at cross purposes training-wise. Evasion uses dex, whereas shields uses strength. The larger your shield, the higher the evasion penalty, etc., etc. That being said, when you have damage... Oh, hey, our first ghost was our last ghost. Oh, and it even has the Vorpal weapon. Gosh. Yeah, I think we better... yeah, I think we better run away from that. I mean, electrocution is good against ghosts. We fall through a shaft. Arrgh! Got shafted. That's fine. There's not an absurd difference between Dungeon 2 and Dungeon 4. I mean, we can still definitely get aced right here, but I think we'll be okay. Oh, hey! 2 spammers in the same streaming day. That's a record, I think. Twitch is getting to be a rough neighborhood. Jordan's team. Oh, okay. I only fell one level. Hand axe. I don't know. We'll see about hand axe. I don't mind swords with the Chebritos build because, again, incredibly high strength and dexterity means it doesn't really penalize us for having a high dexterity or for not maxing out strength. How do I mean to put this? Gosh. Wizard, okay. Axes and maces scale more directly off of strength, and so if you put a bunch of points into dexterity, which is better defensively, it gives you better evasion. War axe, that's strong. Let's pick it up. Basically, if you're not putting points into intelligence, you want to be putting points into dexterity because it's better than strength, is the short version. And swords scale better with dexterity than maces or axes. And so you get a better offensive defensive. You maximize your strong defense with the swords better than something like that. Okay, let's see what we have here. The +2 gloves of strength seems pretty cool. +2 ring mail of cold resistance. +4 scale mail of fire resistance. I mean, 6 and 10, 5 and 7. I mean, I guess the ring mail's not bad. We could buy plate armor. I mean, obviously not right this second, but well, everything that I want is out of our price range currently anyway, so I won't get too bent out of shape about that. Hey, Tesho. Good to see you again. It's been a minute. I'm glad to be back. Ooh, and a short sword of venom. Okay. We'll grab it. I like electrocution more here. Probably. I don't know for certain, but anyway. Oh, a book emporium. That's super useful. There we go. I really didn't want to fight them both at once. Okay. Ooh, book of cantrips. Book of air. Book of party tricks is excellent. What's in the volume of hurtful snowflakes? Cold. Okay. I don't remember what's in the book of sky. Ooh, tornado. Oh, don't we have a pretty bad aptitude for? Yeah, -2 aptitude for air magic. So in spite of the -2 aptitude for air magic, on some previous Chebritos Gargoyle builds, I have trained air magic anyway because Tornado is really that good. And knowing we have a guaranteed access to it is really strong. That being said, Translocations is only a -1 aptitude, which still isn't awesome, but you know, it's fine. And it has Singularity, which is so cool. Absolutely amazing. All-star spell in my it's on my short list of contenders for the best spell in the game. Hi Zaloya, thanks, appreciate it. So yeah, so it's good to know that we have access to Tornado should we want it. We won't be training spells until whoa, yikes. That all happened very fast. Okay, good. Got the potion of curing. I guess another one. No. We just have to hope that we can outrun it. Which we're having trouble doing. There we go. Now we can do this. Oh no! That didn't do the trick. Well, oh, okay, here we go. I can identify some of these. Alright. Okay. We're identifying stuff on the fly here, but there we go. Yeah, Ice Beasts, sir. They can be rough. I wasn't really prepared for that one. I thought that we would be strong enough with our short sword of electrocution to take it out fairly easily, but that was incorrect. Let's eat some beef jerky. Rest up. Okay, and then let's go ahead and identify some potions. Okay, those are both helpful. This is Scroll of Remove Curse. Okay. So we do know what blank scrolls look like. Scroll of Teleportation and Scroll of Enchant Armor. Kind of a waste, that's too bad, but do what you can. Alright, so Crazy Youth. Okay, well, that's too bad. I think, though, that if we quaff one of these Potions of Might, which I'm okay with spending on Crazy Youth, we should be okay. Chop them up. Quarterstaff of Chaos is pretty good. Probably better? Yes. Better than our short sword of electrocution, I think. It's slower by a significant margin, but it's very powerful. The Ring of the Demon Prince. Evasion plus 2, see invisible. That's pretty good. What else do we have? Yeah. Amulet of Resist Mutation. That's going to be very useful later. Having access to that. Magical Power. Okay. Amulet of the Gourmand is no longer a good item. Used to be a godsend. Chainmail. Do I want to just put on some chainmail? Let's see. 8 and 12. 14 and 7. I think that's better. Yeah. Especially since we get the the higher guaranteed damage reduction. We'll hang on to that whip just in case. Can we kill an ogre? I think we can kill an ogre. Yeah. We can also kill a centaur. Okay. Yeah. I feel strong. I feel like we are getting somewhere with this one. Ooh, that's a morning star? Ching! Holy Wrath. Okay, well, not the best brand to find early on, but it is good, and should we come across any undead, it'll be very useful. I think I want to start training maces and flails. And that'll actually cross-train with staves. So this this quarterstaff that we're using temporarily will do some work for us, basically, while we're waiting to find an interesting enough mace or flail type thing to want to pick up. Okay. Let me just make sure we haven't missed an Ultra Shaper Dose in our running abouts. No. Okay. Machleb and Gozag. Gozag. I want to play with Gozag at some point, but not today. Machleb, not too enthused about that either. I was hoping that... oh, there's Nemelex. Nemelex is cool. Plus 5 Ring of Evasion is not bad. Macabre Finger Necklace. It's interesting. This dangling finger would look better than with ring on. Oh, that's a cool on-brand art. That's really good. It's probably worth buying, considering we have enough for it right now. I mean, some of these other things are great. Like plus 6 Ring of Strength seems pretty cool. Regeneration is always nice to have, but I think like it's just a good purchase in the moment. And you know, getting some early negative energy resistance is nice, but what's nicer is that warding in case we step on a shadow trap, because those things can just really hurt early on, especially when you've just fallen through a shaft. Like if we were to step on a shadow trap right now and we didn't have this awesome amulet, we could be in real trouble. Hokey dokey. Well, I guess throwing nets are technically another thing that would be worth putting skill points into throwing for. Good, yeah, they didn't get rid of the resist electricity. Cool. Yeah, electric eels are much harder for everyone except us. Gosh. Healed the Orc Warrior, that's swell. Got it. Cool. Yay! Random point of intelligence. Battle axe wielding orc. That was pretty rough. But we survived. And a Book of Power, eh? Fulminant Prism, Iskandarin's Mystic Blast, Bolt, Magma, Iron Shot, Warp of Destruction, and Spellforged Servitor. It's not a bad book. I'm glad to have it. What's the other book that we have here? A Book of Alchemy. I didn't even notice picking that up. We cannot cast Sublimation of Blood because we don't have any. Petrify is kind of cool. I don't recall what Irradiate does. Oh, yeah, it's a short AoE explosion with high spell power and it contaminated too. Okay, so this book is okay. Petrify is alright, I guess. Ignite Poison can be fun. So Book of Alchemy, not as exciting. Oh, an Ice Beast. I don't have any cold resistance. What about this Wand of Flame? It's doing work. There we go. Alright. Wand of Flame, useful. Not always the case. Ooh. Oh, we're totally fine against these guys. We've got 2 pips of negative energy resistance. Oh, and we can even wield the Morningstar of Holy Wrath. Cool. What's our resistance close? 2.4? Is that good enough to just use the Morningstar anyway? Minus 213 versus plus 310. Yeah, no, the Quarterstaff is still better. For now. Just from a strict chance to hit standpoint, if nothing else. Ugh. Owie. Life Beetles hurt. Can we just paralyze it? And then bash it to death? Yeah, cool. I'm okay with it. I am going to be glad to switch off of this Quarterstaff of Chaos. It's too high variance for my taste. Generally speaking. I mean, it's been sweet so far. Oh, yikes. An invisible berserked black bear, huh? I think we're... Ow. Okay, well, let's also go invisible. Oh, hey. Cool. Huh. It just died. I guess we poisoned it at some point. That was kind of a closer fight than it should have been. I should not have let it get that far, but, you know, what can you do? Oh, I didn't even notice that. That's really cool art for the necklace. The Macabre Thinkable necklace. Macabre Thinkable necklace. Yeah. Alright. Ring of Invisibility is not easy to use. Evocations is pretty sweet. Maybe worth putting points into. I kind of don't want to, though, just because training spell schools later on is going to be very experience intensive, and I'd rather get our important skills as maxed out as possible here. Those being fighting, maces, flails, and armor, and shields as soon as we find one, which I don't think we have. No, we found like condensation shield or whatever the ice spell is, but ooh, a ruined chainmail. Oh, a berserking toad. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and wield the Morningstar. It's weaker, but I'm tired of berserking and making things invisible. So, yeah. Plus 3 chainmail. Deal. That's nice. Yeah, sleeping berserking toad. Oh, a cloak. I've been walking around with a cloak in my inventory and I haven't put it on. I'm terrible. Terrible at this game. That's fine. These things happen. Okay. Cool.
Did we fully explore the level above? I'm not sure we did. We should also go back and kill Jorenstein II at some point. On dungeon level 3. There he is. Yeah. Boom. Morningstar of Holy Wrath will take out Ghost pretty easily. We're also much higher experience level than we were the first time we encountered. Poor Daddy Jorenstein. Dungeon 7. Okay, we'll stream for another few minutes here. Actually, if you'll give me just a moment, I'll run and grab my melatonin. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Alrighty. I have to take melatonin in order to get to sleep. It's a little frustrating, but I have found a combination of things that works. Cool. So we still have a handful of people watching. Cool. Well, thanks for sticking around, folks. Hope you're enjoying yourselves. Okie dokie. Phantom's much easier with Holy Wrath. I guess Holy Wrath is better than I was assuming it to be. Again, putting points into intelligence for our eventual trip into the extended endgame. It's going to happen. I am confident. Soon we will find an altar of Chabritos. And this is, yeah, here's the temple. This is why the monk background I love so much, even though it's a little rougher starting off because you don't have points in a weapon skill that you're likely to use. Yeah, here we go. You get a kickstart with your stat boosts. Forget exactly how to check how much. Oh yeah, +4. Yeah, so because we're a monk, we instantly get +4 to all 3 of our attributes, which is just really good. I mean, that's super strong. That's an artifact ring right there that we get immediately. Now, one thing we do have to remember is we are no longer able to move rapidly or much at all. Okay. How do we have? Oh, that is so cool! Oh, that is awesome! I've never found this macabre finger necklace before, but you can put a ring on your finger necklace. That is just so cool. Gives you an extra ring slot. Wow, that's outstanding. This dangling finger would look better with a ring on it. Yeah, you can put a ring on it. Wow, that's just wild. That's a really cool find. I mean, I guess I just figured it was, okay, on Rand art that you can. I wonder. Oh gosh, I hope it's not permanently stuck to the ring. Okay. Interesting experiment. Gosh. This game, I love this game so much. Just endless variety. Scorched Rapier, eh? The Rapier of the Three Realms. Flame and Berserk. Yeah, I don't know how much I care about that, but I mean, we'll hang on to it. It's an artifact. It's never worth dismissing out of hand. How are we doing on our skills here? Decent? Cool. I really want to find a shield at some point. That would be nice. Okay. Oh, that's right. Yes, Shay doesn't like berserking. So I guess we'll get rid of that because it's just a flaming rapier at that point. Although, you know, they might have changed that. They might have changed it so that you can still berserk, you just don't get the speed boost. You get the strength and damage boost and hit points, but not the speed boost. I think. I don't know if Shay still dislikes it or not, but regardless, I don't care that much. I don't need it. We've got a solid weapon for the time being, at least. Ooh, Grum. Grum is tough. Fortunately, we got him in kind of a good spot. Oh, right, and I'm slow. Okay, I'm slow. I'm very slow. I need to remember that. By that I mean slow beyond the slow effect, which is currently plaguing me. But that is the case as well. Alright. Okay, so centaurs. Oh, we do want to train invocations. I forgot that Chabritos actually has very cool abilities that require 10 levels at least. Maybe it's closer to 15 even. But Step from Time, which is one of the best escape buttons in the game. Let's go here, and here, and then here. I think that should be sufficient blocking the line of sight to, well, unless he chooses not to move forward, in which case we'll try and circle around. I mean, I don't know that he can even really damage us, given our higher armor class, but I'd rather not find that out the hard way. Okay, so there is no way we can break line of sight with him. We just have to... Where did he go? Oh. Okay. Whatever. I feel like this ring is going to be cursed. No, it's not. It's swell. Sure. Let's eat. Really glad that that priest decided to just walk towards us. Could have played hard to get. Ooh, a silver javelin. I'll take it. I do need some form of ranged damage here. Because I don't like being a sitting duck. I think crossbows are ideal with gargoyles. Actually, it could be crossbows, bows, or throwing. We not found a blowgun at any point? No. Alas. Let's just turn on javelins. Let's pick those things up. And, you know, if we happen to find a cool bow or crossbow... Oh, we're confused. Interesting. This is painful. Alright. Doing okay now. A light. Having immunity to poison is really nice. That's one of the reasons why gargoyles make such good shape followers, is because poison is really, really rough when you can't retreat from the thing that's poisoning you. Just keep stacking up. Yeah, we're really strong against the undead right now. We're extremely strong against the undead. Reach level 10. Morningstar of Freezing. We'll grab that. Morningstar of Freezing. Okay, cool. What are we doing with our lives? Let's... Cursed +3, Morningstar of Freezing. Well, it is +3. That is cool. May as well leave it on for now. Here, I think it's okay to approach. I mean, we're moving very slowly, of course, but we're not quite at max slowness yet, either. We're at 1.7 turns per tile, rather than the 2 turns that it will eventually be. Rising Star in the Eyes of Chabritos. We currently have +8 to all of our attributes, which is bonkers. Yeah, Strength 22, Int 23, Dex 20 on Dungeon 8. Before the layer. We haven't yet found the layer, and we're rocking around with all stats 20+. Gosh, I love Chabritos. Plus, like, even though, like, at its base, it's just a massive amount of damage, Chabritos makes the game so interesting to play. You have to think way further ahead as far as your positioning and your spell choices, and it's just so cool. Very tough, of course, but well worth the... yay! A shield. There's probably one in here, too. There's a glowing chain mail, which, what are we using now? Just a +3 chain mail. So that could potentially be better than what we're using. A couple potions of curing. An unknown scroll, I suppose. Suppose we could go ahead and pick that up. It's cheap. Well, I don't have all my other scrolls. Let's go upstairs and identify some scrolls here. Scroll of Immolation. Scroll of Fog. Okay. We still know what that scroll is, so yeah. Let's go ahead. Gosh, or I could get the glowing chainmail, and hopefully it'll be something cool. I don't know the probability of it being better than... Yeah, let's just... Let's go for... I mean, I guess it's higher variance. We're gonna get more gold anyway later. Let's try to Keep disrobing. No. I don't want to face a snake without any armor on. Hey, +3 chainmail of magic resistance. So, a beautiful upgrade. Awesome. Man, I feel like I'm being welcomed home when I put on a gargoyle. Chibritos gargoyle. Oh, cool. Plus $9 attributes. Plus we have access to Slouch, more or less. Slouch is insanely powerful. It's just massive damage to everything on the screen. Things that are faster take more damage. It's super duper strong. It's very cool to have. Once you can reliably cast it, that is. It does eat up your piety though, so be careful. Goliath beetles actually are pretty dangerous because we can't run away from them like you normally can, like worms and those sorts of things. Oh right, I need to grab this buckler. Ow! Bolt of magma. Jeez. Well, that was, gosh, could conceivably one-shot me with that. I think that was pretty close to max damage, though, so I feel okay continuing that fight. Yikes, that was pretty brutal. 34 or 35 point Bolt of Magma. Okay, cool. So now we have our suite of skills that we're going to be training basically until they're maxed, with the exception of the invocations, which we will only train until Step from Time becomes castable at like 10% or less. So reliable. Oh, could have been Cobalt. I always forget with Poison Immunity that Eyes of Draining, not too scary for this build. We don't rely on mana early on. Very, very useful to us later, although we still, let's see, we don't really need this Ring of Invisibility. Plus 4 Ring Strength, deal. Not quite as cool as if we didn't have, you know, +9 already, but still, you know, damage is damage. Armor class is armor class. It's been a very solid few levels here. We're progressing according to plan. The layer gets a little tricky just because there's some enemies that can cause you some problems, but I'm not too worried. The next 10 or so levels of the dungeon should be fairly easy. Bees are great for us to fight. This particular build, we are wearing 3 rings because of this cool necklace that we found. Macabre Fingerbone Necklace, or the Macabre Finger Necklace, that's it. It gives us warding and an extra pip of resist negative energy. So 2 pips of resist negative energy and protection from summoned creatures, and you can put a ring on it. See, we've got Ring of Magical Power on right hand, plus 4 Ring of Strength on left hand, and a Ring of Sustain abilities on Amulet. Just super cool. Drop this potion of Berserk Rage. Che doesn't like it. Yeah, I was surprised by that. It's the first time I found this particular necklace. It's very, very cool. Okay, so here's actually a question. Yeah, like I got it because it was cheap in a store. It was like 200 gold or something. And I was like, oh, you know, this isn't awesome. We'll replace it at some point, but it's, you know, it's fine. No, it's phenomenal. It's like taking your best ring and adding warding and negative energy to it, or something like that. I don't know. It's very cool. I like it. It will be useful for quite some time. All right. So what are we doing here? We need to let's try confusing this guy. I don't know that it'll work, but it's better than trying to approach him. I don't know that it will work. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Yeah. That Cyclops would have been most dangerous had we just tried to walk towards it and eaten, 2 large rocks to the face per step. Then you get into range where even a blink scroll doesn't save you, and yeah, bad news bears. Okie dokie. That was kind of an early Cyclops, though. It's a little surprising. I mean, not too early. It was Dungeon 9, but a little early. It's before we found the lair. And that is a vaults monster, primarily. Vaults and depths. Glowing plate armor, eh? What's that you say? Something potentially even better than what we're wearing? Okay, so 24 and 9 versus 24 and 11. Alright, so chainmail is actually better for the time being. Our armor skill isn't too terribly high. Our strength is phenomenal, but our armor isn't high enough to make full use of the plate armor, so we won't concern ourselves with that quite yet, although it is pretty decent. Gosh, we're hitting some early depths monsters. I mean, it's okay because we are really strong. But Sentinel's mark forms upon you. Alarm trap. Well, at least that brings things to us. We don't have to go hunting things down. A faintly glowing hand axe. Can't carry that many items, eh? Well, I think the throwing ship has kind of sailed. We'll keep these javelins because they are decent damage. Oh, that's right, our mace is cursed. I suppose we can burn a scroll of remove curse here. Let's read this loud clanging noise. Okay. Let's see what this X is. Interesting. Not awesome. Not as good as our Morning Star. In fact, I think we can just go ahead and drop it. We don't have any real need for that. If we weren't worshipping Chabrados, we might use it for the intelligence, but Ring of See Invisible, that seems fine. We don't really need sustain abilities quite yet. Troll, I don't think is going to bother us. No, well, especially since it got teleported away. Oh, let's identify some of these potions here. Ooh, Potion of Beneficial Mutation is nice. Potion of Regular Old Mutation and Potion of Brilliance. Okay. Well, considering that we have no extra mutations yet, aside from just being, super tanky. Yeah, let's go ahead and drink it. Ooh! Yeah! Awesome! Plus 10% hit points? Like the perfect mutation for a gargoyle? Man. We are just living the dream here. I don't think this guy can hurt us. Yeah. Oh, should I pick up a bow? Do I want to use bows or crossbows? I think I want to use crossbows so that I can use a hand crossbow with my shield. Yeah, that seems good. Yeah, we're doing okay. Trollhide is good on many characters. It's regeneration builds are pretty sweet. If you use sort of light-ish armor. Wow, 3 spammers in the same night. Twitch is slipping with their. We don't actually care about spells yet, so the ring of. Oh, cursed ring of dexterity. That's fine. It happens. We still have a few scrolls. Oh, let's just drink the potion of poison, because we can, because we're gargoyles. Hell rats are dangerous. I guess not dangerous. Hey, Hamlet, cool. Oh now, a rat. Dead for a ducat. Dead! And then he stabs him through the curtain. Very dramatic. The ultimate angsty teen play. Ooh, something happened there. Oh, we just are continuing to get stronger. Plus 13 to all attributes. Yeah, I'll take it. Let us go down a different staircase, however. I don't really fancy 7-headed Hydra. That is actually something to respect. Ooh, we have a Morningstar of Freezing, so it makes it a lot easier. Freezing weapons slow reptiles in a really cool and useful bit of flavor. Let's back up one. Gosh, is the entrance to the vaults around here? Did we miss the lair? No? No, the vaults is in the depths now. We just have a lot of really strong guys, really. These Yaktars. Gosh. Ugh. Okay. That was kind of loose play on my part. But it's okay. We pulled through. I really shouldn't have fought that fight. I should have backed up and repositioned. I really want to find some translocation magic. Oh, Nessus. Yikes. This is maybe a Blink Scroll moment. Yeah. I mean, I don't like that we only have one. On the other hand, he can shoot us a lot. A whole lot. Yeah, let's just be safe. I mean, I don't like using my only Blink Scroll early on, but I feel like it's pretty necessary there. Just eat this picture. Wow. I feel like this is... I mean, I'm not whining. Like, I don't mind that we're encountering really strong things, because it means we're getting boatloads of experience early on. We're just going to soar through the layer. It's just that I find it unusual. Okay, what's this? Scroll of recharging. What do we want to recharge? I suppose Wand of Confusion? Sure. None of them are incredibly useful, but okay. Let's try a few of them. Ooh, nice. Got paralysis off on him? Well, that was easy. Oh, so one thing we can do here, we can pick up one of these Arbalests, which in previous versions was just a regular old crossbow, and we can start training it. And I know our skills are spread really thin right here, but we're at where we need to be, basically, and we just are going to be trickling things into these skills for the rest of the game anyway. If there was one of these skills in particular that we needed right now more than the others, then I would feel worse about this, but this is fine. Especially since we're going to turn shields off for a while once it hits level 5. Until we find a good, strong shield somewhere. Let's just back up out of sight and take him on. Certainly don't want to run into the room willy-nilly. Okay, well there's the lair. I also feel okay about spreading our experience thin because we're fighting crazy powerful things. Bees! Oh my god! Bees! Sonya? Good thing we're immune to poison, jeez. Want a fireball? Sure. Alright, deal. Now, this blowgun. +4 blowgun, A. We have 6 Kurari needles. That's pretty solid. I think I'll hang on to that for now. And hold on, let's get our items assigned here. L, alright. So now we can switch between our Morningstar and our blowgun with the press of the apostrophe key. For example, here we can just Kurare the Hill Giant and then bash it to death. White's very easy with our creepy fingerbone necklace. And the needle didn't even break, so we get to rinse and repeat. Kurare is so good. For a long time, I underestimated Kurare's strength. I do that no longer. Okay, we're going to turn shields off for a while. Right now, it's not imperative that we have shields on. Gosh, I really just want to duck into the lair at this point. Like, we're encountering a lot of really dangerous enemies. Like, enemies that I don't quite feel prepared to face. There are going to be surprises with... Oh gosh, I just took the long way around there, didn't I? And stood where it could bounce. Let's quaff a potion of might here. For bashing down these yaks. I think we're not quite strong enough to take on 5 yaks at once. But that's okay. We're getting there. Let's not give it that easy line of sight. There. Get some beef jerky, clear out our inventory. Oh, we can drop some of these useless items here. Don't care about that ring of invisibility. Nice. Fireball. I'm just dropping things that I will not care about by the time we get to our stash. so as not to clutter up our stash. Potions of mutation are nice to keep on hand. Oh, come on, just get close enough to where I can kill you. We have resist electricity, and so that's electric fields are not too scary. Book of Debilitation A. Hexes? Not in love with hexes, still. I still think that by the time you get the hexes skill to a high enough level for the spells to be useful, the spells aren't useful anymore. Like, by the time you can cast the spells, you can no longer gain any benefit from them. And I exaggerate slightly. I mean, Mass Confusion, Discord, all those things are still good. It's just that eventually hexes is hard outscaled by everything else. Like, it does actually become useless. You can't hex a pandemonium board. And so putting 20 levels into it to be able to cast Discord is, I think, a waste of time. I have played with it, I have experimented with it. Not a ton, but enough to feel comfortable saying that we should wait for more of a hexes revamp before using it. I mean, as always, your mileage may vary, but I bet if we hit that thing with a fireball. Oh, well, we're out of fireball. If we hit that thing with a wand of flame. There we go. Get a steam shield. Okay. Shadow Trap! Ooh, an unidentified scroll. Torment. Yeah, not a lot of damage from Torment. I don't know if you noticed that, but it was only about 15 damage. Because we have Torment resistance, which is awesome. Just being a gargoyle is one of like 3 Torment resistance sources in the game. I just threw out the number 3. I'm not sure that it's exactly 3, but it's not many more than 3. We don't have a Scroll of Magic mapping, which is a shame. So I would like to know where this Frost Cave is. I think we could make good use of it, although we don't have a source of resist cold yet, actually. So maybe I wouldn't want to go in anyway. Probably not, actually. I mean, there's always the chance that let's see how we do against these ice beasts. Do they even hurt us? Yeah, and you know, we have a Morningstar Holy Wrath for the Demon Bits. Gosh. It's greedy. Any way you slice it, it's very greedy. We don't have any Blink Scrolls. You know, while normally I take the greedy path, I think this time discretion is the better part of valor. I mean, our best option would be to recharge our Wand of Fireball and like identify it so we knew how many charges it had and use that to kind of muscle our way through, but I don't think it's worth the risk of getting stuck inside a freezing cloud and dying. So I think we're just going to leave it. I hate doing it, but I think we got it. Wand of Hasting. Otherwise, an excellent tool. For us, not so much. We're not allowed to use it. Bash, bash, bash the rats, bash them all to death. Yeah, plus our Morning Stars of Freezing or Holy Wrath, and that's not necessarily... Yeah. No, I think that we made the right choice there. I'm sad to pass up on a temporary branch. I love loot. I mean, and it's an excellent source of resist cold materials always. Six-headed Hydra. You can come up with me, and I will bash you. Okay, how are our skills coming? Step from Time is at 30%. Everything else is very usable, but Step from Time, I mean, it's a big deal. You need to have it at 10% or lower, because when you need it, you really need it. I mean, truisms aside, it's an important part of this kit because you can't ever run away. You can't run away from any enemy in the game, except for like things that you have paralyzed or petrified, or which like are Goliath beetles or whatever, and are already slow, and you further slow them. I mean, you're a sort of moving turret, and you can't ever forget it, or you will die. Really, I shouldn't even be auto-exploring, but Oh, there's a great sling. Yeah, it's pretty solid. I will have to try a halfling at some point, or another slings-based character. This was not that time, though. Oh gosh. So I think, wow, we're on layer 3? I was going to say, I think we'll get to layer 2 and then make our stash and I'll go to bed. Clearly, I do need to go to bed because I've managed to ignore an entire level of a layer. So let's just go up to layer 2, yada yada. And then I always go to the entrance to the layer and then find the nearest staircase so that it's the shortest route from... No, it's fine. Che doesn't mind if you slow other things down. It's just speeding things up that's bad. You don't get as much of a piety boost from slow monsters as you do from fast monsters, but, I mean, Che is really easy to keep max piety with. I mean, we will never have to worry about, unless we repeatedly spam the abilities, we're going to be at max piety for quite some time. Until, like, I don't know, the hells, when we're just trying to run through them and not actually kill anything, we might need to drop down in piety a bit there. But as far as slowing things, you're totally fine. In fact, one of the Che abilities, Bend Time, just slows everything in sight if it's successful, which is cool. Temporal Distortion is very, very powerful. It basically makes things blink towards you, kind of. Ranged enemies become... they're moved towards you, sort of. I'm not sure exactly how the coding works, so I couldn't tell you what exactly it does, but effectively it moves ranged enemies close to you so you can hit them in the face, which is very nice. Slouch deals damage to everything in your line of sight, or everything in your field of vision, rather. And it does more damage to faster creatures. It basically kills harpies in one hit. Like, if we draw the shoals instead of the swamps, and we encounter harpies, or I guess ravens in the swamps, you just slouch and all of them on screen die. It's super cool. You can't abuse it, because it does run out. or it does run your piety down pretty quickly. But yeah. Okay, so we're gonna drop like all these wands except teleportation. We know we want that one. We're just gonna drop everything else and then pick back up ones that we want. So digging, I think. Yes, it will also one-shot Mambas. Snake Pit gets a lot easier as far as the snakes go. The Nagas are not as affected by it, so actually Spider's Nest. Slouch makes Spider Nest really easy. Makes it very, very easy. Comparatively. I mean, you can still just die, but... okay, so non-themed weapons will go up there. This Ruined Whip. Morningstar of Holy Wrath can stay here for now. I'm not worried about undead in the lair. We want to hang on to that crossbow so we can continue training it. Because I basically, as soon as I pick up a hand crossbow, I want to be able to use it. Since we haven't really found spells that we want yet. I mean, we've got a couple of books here. But really what I'm looking for are translocations. Translocations are going to be our bread and butter. If we can move ourselves without walking places, we're going to be in a much better situation than when we have to walk places, or crawl places, as it were. Plus, we will eventually have access to Singularity, which is so good. So good. Oh, gosh. Yeah, Emperor Scorpions. I underestimated those the first time I encountered them. I no longer do that. Okay, drop our Potions of Mutation. I like hanging on to Potions of Mutation because there's always the chance that you'll find the wizard lab that's a mutagenic wizard, and you get like 30 potions of mutation from that lab or something obscene like that. And so, especially if you already have a couple of those jerks. How dare they remove Singularity? That spell is awesome. It makes translocations a viable school. I mean, I guess it's probably too strong. Whatever. I guess that's fine. Do we have anything unidentified in our inventory? No. Wow, that's cool. Ooh, we can try out, okay, so 2612, 2611. Alright. So plate armor has started to outscale the chainmail. Sort of. I mean, we lose a point of evasion, which of course means that we're going to wear the chainmail for now still, but spell you casted around was unfun. I thought it was pretty fun, but no, I can see why they removed it. I think that there should be a level 9 translocation spell that's cool. I think there should be a level 9 spell in all the spell schools that's cool. There currently isn't. Charms doesn't have anything past level 6. Poison Magic doesn't have anything past level 6. Earthquake still sucks. Transmutations, I guess, has Dragon Form, which might only be level 8. Summonings, I like Dragon Call, or Call Dragon, whatever it's called. I like an endless stream of dragons. I think that's very flavorful, very cool. Hexes sucks. Though the hex spells are cool, they just aren't useful. Conjurations could use a level 9 spell too. I think that'd be neat. I just like level 9 spells. I just like exploding things. Avatar? Ooh. That could be cool. Like, I feel like if it gave you a I don't know. I feel like there are a lot of cool things that you could do with level 9 charms. Yeah, Avatar would be a pretty sweet. Like maybe it. Maybe it just gives you like a massive ability score bonus. All 3 of your ability scores and something else. I don't know. There are cool things you could do with it. Okay, so I think that's about. Oh gosh, I can drop off Scroll of Recharging for sure. And I guess enchant armor. I don't really feel like plate armor of magic resistance is what I want to be using enchant armor on. I want to save that for gold dragon armor or something. So, okay, all right. So this character is super strong. I love it. Our necklace is sweet. I don't think we found any boots or gloves. Oh yeah, gloves of strength that we could buy. Gloves of strength, meh. Gloves of slaying would be, I guess, better. Anyway, very, very good start for this character. I think it's very solid. We are definitely on our way to a 3-rune win, for sure. I'm shooting for 15 runes with this one, though. I think it's doable. I think we've got a strong enough start. Gosh, what gave that away? That I play Magic. I'm going over in my head what I was talking about. I don't remember. Yeah, no, I've been playing Magic for 21 years now. Yeah, 21 years. It's been a minute. Oh, my profile. Yes. That would be it. I thought you had gleaned from some verbiage that I used. I said, put it on the stack or something like that. Priority. Any one of the incredibly technical terms. But yeah. I do want to record or stream some drafts sometime soon. I haven't had time lately. I mean, I like to set aside a solid 3 or 4 hours for streaming drafts. In case I make the finals. But I haven't had a whole lot of time for that lately. Maybe this weekend sometime. But it also costs money, which I have, but I also like using it on things that aren't games when I don't have to. I will definitely stream some drafts at some point. I really like Battle for Zendikar. I think it's a very, very cool limited format. Haven't figured it out yet. I haven't cracked the code. I've only done, I think, 3 drafts of it, which is nowhere near enough to really know a set. But anyway, I do have to sign off now, I'm afraid. It's just about my bedtime. Gotta be up at 6, 8 hours from now. Every day for work. But, it's an awesome job, so I can't complain. Anyway, thanks everyone for stopping by. I think we had some new faces today, which is fantastic. Welcome, and some old faces. Good to see some of the old crowd come back. I do apologize for being gone for 6 months, but I promise it was totally worth it. My life is way better now. I will whine less on stream, and I should reliably be able to stream on Mondays. Pretty reliably. Plus, I'm making half again what I was at my old job, so I can afford to buy games sometimes rather than never, which is sweet. Anyway, enough bragging about my life, because that's not what you're here for. You're here for Crawl, and that's done. So I'll go ahead and end the stream. Thanks for watching, and I'll